Welcome back, dear friends. What's that noise, that beautiful music that is, well, it's music to my ears? Having realised I'd got absolutely everything back to front, the strings in the wrong order, the frets in the wrong order, everything. So I'm now trying to get everything the right way round. I started off, the very beginning, the very best place to start, by putting it into a text document. So I pasted all the originals and then realised that that's impossible to get that into Excel because it's not comma separated values, and you get some things, some of these digits are actually double digits, like fret 13 or fret 12. So it can't use set widths, so that didn't work. So after much umming and ahhing, I realised using the find and replace in the text thing that I could slowly had to change all them. Well, you can see here, look. Where? There. On the stair. I had to change all of the numbers, starting with the big ones, into letters, because obviously if I then said, OK, change all the ones into something else, half of all these numbers would have been changed as well. So I allocated them all and swapped them into letters and a couple of other bits, and then got them all comma separated and then changed them all back into numbers again. What fun, but it worked. That meant I could then import it into Excel. Security warning, they want me to pay a fortune to rent Excel off them rather than own my own copy. Anyway, here we are on the one I'm currently working on. There are the arrays, and you can find a length of them. Obviously it was a case of wading through all these incredibly clever people on forums when someone just said, can you find out the size of array? Why do you want to do that? What on earth would you not know how big? Blah, 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 blah. But you can. You read it twice, because the first one tells you the memory size, the whole of the memory that's reserved for the array. And then the second one, you say, OK, how big is this particular part of the array? And it just divides it and then tells you the number of items in your array, which is very handy because I don't want to count all these. Actually, now I've compiled it and included references to the 4 arrays, it's now telling me I've used 93% of dynamic memory. Low memory availability, stability problems may occur. Now, when I did the scribulator, Gregorian scribulator, I used memprog. Just for reference, that's how you do it. You add make it into a constant, add a prog, I said it wrong, prog mem there. And then when you compile it, you can see tons of memory left because it saved it along with the program files, I believe, although I don't know what I'm talking about. If you do save it in prog mem, to read it, you have a little prog mem read word and an and reference thing in front of it. When I wrote the scribulator, it was so complicated because I was reading all sorts of stuff I'd encoded myself. It was a nightmare, but it's as simple as that. And rather disturbingly, it is actually reading I mean, I don't know what that's all about. Oh, it's because I don't know. I don't even know whether it's going to be possible to play this music. I've got these going slowly because they kept crashing into things. Okay, you want horror? I've speeded the motors up to 5,000 rather than 1,000. Just because I was erring on the side of caution, because like I say, they kept crashing into it while my brain was a muscle trying to sort out how to get this working properly in the right order. As I say, I slowed them down, and anyway, it's a good idea to have them slow because I don't want them crashing into the switches too fast. I've also just realised why, for some reason, unknown reason, it just seems to have a nice little strumming session with nothing happening here. Like that. I can't work it out. And of course it's the part the other ukulele is meant to be playing, or the guitar in fact, which I haven't got. So perhaps I can combine and try and get it to play all the parts. Playing all the parts together. I don't know. I'll take the dog for a walk and have a think. This is so exciting. I've done some work. I'll just I'll reset this so you can hear the start, but it's the first time I've been able to get anything remotely sounding like Duelling Banjos. Let's reset it. I've done it while that's finding zeros. I've basically it only moves the frets and the carriages and plucks it if there's a note, a key or a chord somewhere. It'll ignore it and just jump along. Look. That's handy, Harry. Excellent. Who's this guy? You buddy. There we are. That's very handy. It's even got a microphone so it can help you to get even more confused. Right, I've tuned them. Let's see. So tuning happens on the instruments, not the software. I need to take everything apart. It's the only way to do it. To add a 0 fret. Now, one thing I've learnt an awful lot through this project. Because as I say, I had no knowledge whatsoever of ukuleles or any stringed instruments such as guitars or anything like that. But I'm learning lots. One of the things I've learnt is there is a certain degree of contention within the world of ukulele players regarding a 0 fret. Some people think it's brilliant because it means that the top fret is not the nut or whatever it's called that's usually made of a different material to the other frets. It's made from the same material, so a lot of the argument is that it gives it the same tonal value when playing. Other people say it's a complete waste of time. I haven't quite been able to work out why they think it's a complete waste of time, but that's my project. Let's have a look. This is going to be fun. It might slide out actually. I'll have to have a look. The battery's about to go flat. It's there. So I need to have a look, take it to pieces, take the strings off, destring it, and work out how I can best get another piece of brass rod, which looks like these are, at the top. Hopefully that'll be okay, but it means there's definitely something for the bearing on the fret carriage to actually run on and stay positioned when it's over this one, and then it can hopefully, anyway, I'll put that together. I'm not going to fret about it. Thank you. I'm going to put it together and see what sort of hideous noise it makes now. I've just left it going. I've now got it to play both parts of Duelling Banjos. It's a ukulele and I've got one of them, so that's a good start. So it's interesting also because it's reading it off the tabulature, something or other. It doesn't have any reference to timing. It's left up to the musician. And as this is certainly no musician, it's just playing one note and then waiting a little bit when there aren't notes and things. But it's a really intriguing thing. I love the way it plays chords like that. Even if some of them are a little bit dubious. A little bit like a slide guitar as well. Anyway, right, stop it. Something very strangely disturbing about listening to this. Right, I will get on. I might also, just for the sake of it, these are going at quarters. Well, I can't remember what they're going at actually, but I might speed them up and get them going at half speed because I just want to see what would happen. Well, that's a pain. Just spent about an hour resoldering these bits. In fact, these bits, these 3 pins, which tell it, the driver, the stepper motor driver, how many steps, micro step resolution. Now I had it on quarter, I've just set it to half, which is very complicated, swapping all the little wires around, and I realised I was going as fast as I could, because I then set the speed. I thought, we're going to go twice as fast, theoretically, but it wouldn't. It won't go any faster than half the RPM that I'd set before, because I'm going twice as fast, and that was it. Live and learn, top tip, sort of. What I'm going to do then, to speed this up, is to get a bigger pulley. Now I hear you cry, a bigger pulley? Won't that mean you have to redesign everything? It would do, unless I do it like this. There's the bigger pulley, there's a tensioning pulley, and then this bit stays the same distance apart. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Because it worked. It plays a tune, but I just know it should work faster. It can do. It must do. Why not? I'm having fun today. I'm making two of the Net kitchen timer kits because a couple of people have ordered ready-made ones. The kits come with everything you need to assemble your very own working steampunk kitchen timer with air horn. So it's a real thing, an air pump and an air horn to let you know when your cooking's ready. There's laser engraved labels and things. There's lots of lovely gears and bearings, wooden knobs, and all the wooden bits and pieces to make it come unstained. But the kit comes with wood stain and polish. Excellent! Something for everyone. So all the copper parts that fit together, a little flickering lamp to let you know when it's timing, and you even get the bits that you need to make an electronic circuit. Don't need any special tools, equipment or knowledge. All the instructions are online. Fabulous. The perfect gift for yourself or for someone else, if I may be so bold. It's so simple to use. If you want to do some timing, you can switch it on using this beautiful brass key switch. Flickering flame effect comes on to tell you it is timing. You then set it to however many minutes you want your cooking to last. I'm not going to stand here for whatever it is, 30 minutes waiting for this to go around. But basically the gears turn, the clock slowly counts down until the air horn goes off. And it's a proper working air horn with an air pump and a air reservoir along here. So I say you get all the parts you need to make your very own one in the privacy of your own living room. Every household should have one. My cunning plan, as I suddenly realised when I was walking the dog the other day, most of my ridiculous ideas come to me whilst walking the dog, was to use punched paper tape, like the old computers, in the 40s and 50s and things, and earlier before that actually, as a way of communicating and saving information, because it was really one of the few ways that early computers could actually store information, like programs or data or whatever. And consequently, I thought that would be a fantastic way to store the data, these arrays to play tunes on this thing. It also harks back beautifully to the old fairground organs and pianolas, and in fact most of the early mechanical instruments used some form of paper with holes in it to tell it how to play the music. So that would be a really nice touch. Several people on YouTube I've seen have made this paper punched tape readers using little optical devices to see where light goes through the holes or not. And they're really fast. I cannot believe how fast they can be read. I've also, funnily enough, because it's all well and good being able to read them, how do you write them? It's beyond me to come up with the engineering to make some device to punch, I think there's 9 little holes across in rows, really neatly. I was thinking about using the laser cutter, and then I found a company in the UK. You send them the data, I don't know why they do this, and they will produce punch tape for you. I think it's £1 for every 500 bytes. Can't be bits, it must be bytes. Anyway, so I know there's a potential there. And I've worked out that to get all this controlled, I'd need 20 bits. So I could just have every little slot of data, if you like, stored as 3 of these rows, because there are 7 data bits, a parity bit, which is used to check whether the data is correct, and a little hole in the middle for a sprocket to wind it through the reader, and equally to line it up properly because it's a slightly smaller hole. Anyway, I mean, that's another whole project in its own right. Once I've got an idea like that, I cannot leave it alone. So whilst I'm waiting for these pulleys to arrive and other bits and pieces, I'm going to be thinking about that as well. That would just be amazing. Imagine having reels of this paper tape, I think it's about 1 inch wide, with different tunes on, and you slot them onto the machine somewhere, feed it in, they whiz round reading the data off, it plays the tune. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, to be honest with you. Anywho, let's get on with it. This is a right old hodgepodge video, but anyway, I think this is for the end. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found it interesting. I think what I'll do is to fade out or end the video with the full rendition, the beautiful rendition of dueling ukuleles, or a dueling, no, not even dueling if there's one. I'll just get it to play one half of it and it should speed through the other. Remember to click subscribe if you like this sort of thing, and the like button and the bell button to be alerted to when the next video is actually released for public entertainment. And remember to check out my Etsy shop and my website, where you can buy all sorts of exciting things that sponsor these videos in effect. Thanks very much again. Hope to see you next time. And if anyone's got any suggestions for pieces of music, or even sources of the tabulature, or even better, notes, music that represents chords or something, still don't know what I'm talking about, but I really would like to be able to add the timing. As you heard with that, quite a lot of the timing is out because it is just reading the different chords and ignoring everything between them, so that would make a huge difference as well.